should be the slogan.
Yeah.
Mexico. Start off wrong, end up right.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Again, this is our latest episode. And again, for those who don't remember, I'm Roddy.
I'm Landy.
And again, today, we have our very special guest, again, that y'all may remember.
Dawn.
And for those who don't remember Dawn, this can be a real brief introduction.
My name is Dawn. I'm 48. I moved here about 2+ years ago.
Okay. And again, for those who do remember, I know when we talked our first time, again, I think so many people enjoyed our conversation. Again,
Yes.
we got lots of positive comments back and feedback. I think everyone loved, again, just, I guess the best way to put it, no nonsense, ideas about moving. And I think that really resonated with a lot of people. And living so close to us, we just said, hey, Don, come back over. Let's have a little conversation again.
Yes.
And that's where we are. So today, what are we talking about?
We're gonna talk about bad and good about living in Mexico.
Yeah. So we kind of invited Don over, and this is something we've been kind of talking about a lot lately, just with ourselves and even a couple of our other podcasts, which is just I think sometimes people, when they portray Mexico online, or on video, whether it's YouTube or any other video, it's always like, yay, it's awesome, it's sunshine, it's rainbows, everything is so great all the time.
Sometimes.
And that's what we kind of want to get across, right?
Sure.
And that's why we always like to say, we like to talk about the good and bad of Mexico, which is the reality of Mexico.
Sure.
So we all have good and bad stories. I think we can kind of start with let's start with some of the bad stories, and then we can kind of end off on the good note and see, some of the positive things that we enjoy about Mexico, and just kind of go from there. And I think we also want to make clear that some of these things we're probably going to talk about, because I have no idea what Don's going to talk about. Can happen anywhere. They're not specific to Mexico. This doesn't mean we hate Mexico.
No.
Yeah. But just to talk about the truth and from our own true experiences here.
Yeah, from our own perspective.
Right.
Right.
So I guess with that being said, Don, again, you've been here for 2 years. We've obviously experienced a lot of things. Can you think of let's start with just maybe one negative experience you've had here and kind of what happened, and just see what happened.
One negative experience I had, this is actually not that long ago. So in April, a girlfriend of mine, she came to visit me, and this is when she purchased her place, right?
Okay.
So she came to visit me, and it was me, her, and a neighbor of mine. And we went to my favorite place, Mr. Pompous.
Yes.
Okay, so we're at Mr. Pompous. We had a great time. We ate all of the food. And me and my neighbor, I pay, he pays, I pay, he pays, I pay, he pays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had this tradition that we go every Tuesday at 1:00 because we like to be the first people there.
Yep.
When they
We
first
know
put
that.
the food out, right? Okay. And we're there, and I'm paying for him and as well as my girlfriend, okay? And I give the money to the woman, right? And
Card or cash?
cash.
Okay.
And she goes towards the back. She comes partially back, and she asks him, do I want change back of my money? So I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, why is he asking him? Yeah.
I'm like, who gave you this?
Yeah.
Right. And then she gave my change back to him. So it took every bit of restraint in me not to, and she took my money, never looked at me, spoke to him, and never looked at me as if I wasn't there.
So what do you think that came from? Do you think that's more just like the cultural? I think in Mexican culture, I think it tends to be more like the man tends to pay for things or take care of things, or
She know that I gave her that money.
Right. And so
Okay, so
and
that's
your feeling is,
different.
what do you think it might have been? Was it just
language,
being a woman?
I don't know, but whatever it was funny, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. I was very upset.
Yeah, because
I
I
was
know.
very upset by that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess was it just being ignored that upset you, or obviously, I think that would upset anybody.
Right.
Being ignored, but the fact that you know where you got this money from.
Yeah.
So if
of
you
course.
need to talk about this money, you might need to speak to the person who gave you this money.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, I don't want to make excuses, but maybe she's assuming because you didn't speak English, but at the same time, don't make it that assumption,
Right.
right?
You can
And she
always
should
ask.
first approach you, especially because you gave the money.
Well,
Right.
well, think about this, right? it's a lot of things that's wrong with that conversation, right?
Sure.
And I'm gonna explain. First of all, you should have went back and got change and just came back with the money.
Mhm.
You wasn't supposed to go off for a few, come back and ask him what to do with my money.
Sure. Very right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So you supposed to go get change. So
Right.
if you would have gotten change and put it back in the little black
Right.
booklet,
Put it on the table.
Yeah.
right? Then we wouldn't have had anything because that would have been now my part to decide what I will tip.
Right.
But you don't
Exactly.
ask Kim
Yeah.
what I'm tipping.
Right.
Exactly.
And you don't ask Kim about my money.
Right. Right.
So there's a lot of things that was
Right.
wrong in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the process wrong, and
Yeah.
the person who you should ask
Is wrong.
is wrong. Yeah, why it's about the man is the boss of on any
Right.
table? Like, don't assume that's your husband or boyfriend. Like, you don't know.
Right. They don't
Right.
know. Right. Or assume that you don't know
Right.
Spanish. Right.
But even
Right.
if so, it was no reason to speak
Uh-huh.
because once I put the money in, I put the money in the envelope, in the black, you
Sure.
know,
Right. The little bill,
Okay.
whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it.
you go back and bring change. You're supposed to put it on the table.
Put it on the table.
Yeah, on your
And
side.
your job
Right.
is done, and now my job begins.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Or whatever you decide to leave with the tip
Correct.
is up to you.
Right.
So, right. So yeah,
That's
they
very odd.
kind of
Yeah, that was very odd.
made a situation odd that didn't have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I tip because I tip.
Right.
And that's
True.
just what I do.
Right.
Right.
And that's
So-
unfortunate.
And that's a high-end restaurant.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Not
of
any
course.
small
Right.
or
Right.
fewer.
So
Yeah.
of course I'm gonna
Right.
tip, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just felt odd. But let me decide what the
Sure.
tip will
Right.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
get-
Don't ask me don't ask him
Yeah.
if
But your money.
of my money is
Yeah.
change to be given.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's because again, for people who don't know, Mr. Papa's is a nice restaurant. It's
Yeah,
kinda-
very nice
it's
restaurant.
a Brazilian barbecue style.
Right.
Oh,
Restaurant
it's
we've
great.
been-
All you can eat buffet, but you got to get there at 1:00 on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
even made a video about it.
Yeah, we have one
Yeah.
also. Yeah, Mr. Pampas.
Mr.
Pampas.
Pampas is great.
Yeah, and then there's Pampas, and then there's La Vaca. Have you been to La
Oh,
Vaca?
no,
We went to La Vaca.
but
We should go.
but they're all right there. But one
Uh-huh.
is not the real Mr. Pampas.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
the other
Pampas,
one, right.
and then there's
Right.
Mr. Pampas.
No, I like the Mr.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. The one.
Yeah.
The first time we went.
Right.
The last time I don't like.
Yeah. And then La Vaca is also right next door, which is it's not Brazilian barbecue,
But it's similar.
but it's a
the
buffet.
dessert is
It's a
really
buffet.
It's a dessert ba- They also serve the steaks, right?
Oh,
right.
Salmon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
salmon.
good.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
You can order 10 salmon if you want,
Oh.
right?
10 salmon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have
Ooh.
and then they have a great dessert bar, and they do
Oh.
have like other
Well, we got to go there.
We
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
go.
It's
We
good.
gotta go.
It's
Okay.
good. And then that is just for advertising for them. Monday is 2 for 1.
Monday is 2 for
Yeah,
1
but you need to have some coupon from
Yeah,
Facebook.
from
right?
Instagram.
Something,
It's
on
easy.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's definitely worth
Next
checking out.
Monday. That's
Yeah,
the
but
last
2 for
Monday.
1 is nice.
That is
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
also the same story. I already forgot the story, but that story reminds me of a
Okay.
lady working in the. There's a shopping mall called where you bought your watch in Victoria. Victoria Mall in close by the Central. Yeah, we were a couple. Maybe the girl didn't know we're a couple, but that doesn't matter. We're a
Right.
couple. We walked to the shop. Then Rod was looking for a watch. Then she be helpful. Yeah, I think that's the same watch you bought.
Little
But
G-Shock.
just from the whole time, she even didn't look at me once.
Not
I
once.
feel very
Invisible.
yeah, like ignore me.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't know if I speak Spanish or
Right.
not. You
Right.
don't know our relationship. Are we
Right.
dating? Are we married?
Right.
Are we friends?
Are we
But-
both buying watches?
Right. But you
Right.
don't know. But I just
Right.
feel I'm not even there. She
You're not
just
even
only
there.
look at the Rod, ask all the questions to serve him,
Right.
but you don't even know who paid the money. Like you don't know.
Right.
You don't assume. Maybe a friend's one word can I don't like this watch because I don't like the sales girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of time can people play some game like that. But of course
Right.
I didn't. I didn't like how she treated me the whole time. At
It's
least,
kinda
at
the cold
least
shoulder.
20, 30 minutes
Yeah.
we're looking for
I
watch.
do remember you talking about
Right,
that
I was like,
afterwards.
that's very odd. Is she too young or it's a Mexican thing? Not
Right,
making
because
you
it-
feel connected.
Because you feel very like, is this lady crazy?
Yeah.
Because it's so disrespectful. It's a
Yeah.
level of disrespect.
Yeah.
Because you identify it immediately because you just feel it.
Yeah.
And then you're looking because you're making sure like, am I the only
Am I the
person
one
who receives this?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Even we discussed like how I like it. He asked me. I gave some talking opinion.
Yeah. We went through a couple of
I
options.
remember that,
Right.
that was 2 years ago when we first
First got here.
Yeah, and feel like that lady like seemed a little bit rude to me. I'm
Very
also
rude.
a customer. We're
Yeah.
here together.
Together.
Yeah, I think again, it may be
Or
part of the culture, but it's
maybe
still
that's
not right.
a woman thing.
Maybe a woman saying, I don't know, it's a cultural
Right.
thing.
Because that is true. Because both times that it happened to you was a woman, was a third party.
Yeah.
So maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a woman thing. Because in the States, I have a custom myself. If I'm speaking, if there's a man and a woman, right? I now speak more towards the woman because I don't want that woman to think I'm flirting or anything with her husband.
Right.
So I make sure I speak to him, but I make sure to look at her as a form of respect.
Right.
Like, okay, I understand.
We're all equals.
Right. No, but I understand that this is your counterpart,
Right.
and I'm going to stay with you. Understand what I mean?
Yeah. You don't want that weird conversation when they go back to the car. Like, do you think she was talking to you too much? Right. You don't want that to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
So I'm making sure that I'm going to acknowledge him, speak with him, but most of my eye contact now is going to be with the woman because I don't want any
friction.
Correct.
Yeah. I think in some other scenario, we're also looking for houses before we bought this one. Still looking for some sales. Those salespeople are nice.
Yeah.
No matter we met ladies and gentlemen, I feel they respect me. Even I don't speak so much Spanish, they still like eye contact.
Right.
Try to throw some words, try to make me understand. This is very good.
We got to practice our English a little bit.
Yeah.
The limited English. And so again, just like we want to make that clear, just like everything else, we're talking about negative stories, but there are definitely good stories.
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe that's more man. Because we bought a car that's a gentleman.
Oh yeah, Antonio. Yeah,
right.
True. And he was very nice, been very helpful. Yeah, so that's kind of an odd situation. Like I know maybe for us, it's happened twice to us as far as a bad situation we were talking about earlier was like with the Airbnbs.
Oh, the Airbnb bad experience.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about this on our video, so we'll try not to make it too long.
Right.
But I know the first one was in San Luis Potosí.
Right.
And so what happened with us there? You want to kind of explain?
Like our car got a break in next morning. Everything's gone.
Right.
Even Louie, our son's car seat was gone.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. And then we thought, I texted the person. You texted him. And where should we park our car? He said, just right in front of the apartment.
Right.
It's a free street parking.
Yeah.
And
It's safe.
So we feel like, okay, he said so. We parked it there. Sure, it's our fault. We left
at the end of the day,
something there.
Car seat.
A car seat.
Right.
I don't leave my money or big wallets.
Right.
There, right. Our belongings were gone. Mm-hmm. And then of course we talked to their owner directly in the morning.
Right.
Before we called the police, because we were on our schedule moving on to another city. Like I really want to spend half day here, talk about it. Maybe we should, but we didn't.
Right.
And we called the Airbnb owner.
Right.
So he said, "Oh, let me take care of it."
Yeah, I'll fill out a report.
Very nice.
Right. Yeah, started out very nice. Let me fill out a report. I'll call the police. I'll do the report. And then we started asking, Airbnb has some insurance. Can any of our stuff be covered? Right. And he's like, well, I'll also do the report with Airbnb. So again, everything was cool, right? And then
that was nice.
Right. And we went out to Monterey because we were going back home to Texas. Mm-hmm. And then that's when things, as it started to progress, that's when things kind of got weird. Like. One, he said, there's some cameras across the street, and we'll see we'll check the cameras, or we'll see if we can see them because they kind of face right to the front door of our complex. And that's where we parked, like right in front of the door. And we'll go from there. And then all of a sudden, I started responding, like, "How are things going?" No response. Nothing. How are things going? Mm-hmm. No response. What's going on?
Houdini.
Right. And then finally he responded, and then he kind of responded with a very kind of pissed off attitude, like, "Oh, you don't contact me anymore. You're trying to commit fraud on me. Oh, we saw the tape. I called the police or something along those lines, and we looked at the tapes, and there was nothing on the tapes that your car was broken into." We're like, like you think we're making this whole story?
I took a video in the morning, and I was very pissed. I thought, okay, I want to record this moment. That's what happened to us.
Right.
And I filmed everything.
Stuff was on the ground.
There's everything on the ground. We lost something in the car, includes Louie's car seat. The car seat is gone. We have a baby.
Yeah.
Right.
We just put the car seat away. We hid it.
Right.
And we went to Walmart and we bought a new car seat. I filmed it.
Right.
There's no way I threw the old one away and buy one. Made the story.
Yeah. And then for them to kind of made us start to wonder, like, was he just bullshit? Like did he really do all these things and like report to Airbnb? And did he really call the police?
He didn't do it.
Right?
He didn't.
I was like, because I was, I know from a third party, again, it's just his word against ours, but again, our very honest thing that happened was our car got broken into. Like, why would we be making this up? And so for him to say we saw your car and we saw nothing, I was like, well, that's bull.
Right.
Because our car broken
into. The more pissed thing is, I think he know how the Airbnb comment thing works. Those stays, windows. So he waited me to give him a very nice comment because he's been very helpful.
He'd be very nice, yes.
And we're still waiting for the answer because he's helping us. Yeah. And I wrote a very nice. I didn't say anything. Our car broke. I said the place is good, the good location. He's very cooperative. All the nice things about
very
him
helpful.
because I appreciate his help.
Yeah, that's right. That's what really got us going.
And then the next day, somehow he replied him with all the bad and negative things.
Yeah, don't rent to these
Change
people.
The face immediately.
Don't rent to these people. They left. They stayed there for one night. They left my house a mess.
And give me a bad comment.
They destroyed my place.
Wow.
Yeah.
One night with the baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
You left my apartment so dirty.
So messy, so dirty.
And then now, even last time we booked some apartment in Puerto Vallarta, now the owner, we saw one of the negative comments. Please keep our place clean.
Right.
Like, now it's a bad credit on my
us.
reputation.
Right. And luckily, just real quickly on that thing, that's not what we do. I mean, we're not those type of people. And they did leave a comment. They were very nice. Everything was clean. So I mean, it was one of those things. We were trying to be very nice. We were trying to be respectful on both ends, and the guy ended up screwing us over.
Yeah.
And
we tried to report on Airbnb. Of course, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can't take down those comments.
So that was a bad experience.
Right.
I mean, just a human being can be so evil.
Yeah, they
abused our trust on him.
Yeah. Try to be again very smiling, and then we get a nice comment. Okay, now I got what I wanted.
Now I got what I wanted. Screw you.
Yeah. For no reason.
Gosh.
And was very insistent you're committing fraud. That was just a bad experience.
Another Airbnb bad story was last time we came.
Puerto Vallarta.
The same story. I mean, people who watch our video already know that the apartment we booked not as like
portrayed
in the
pictures.
It's broken. It's very dirty, ants everywhere. Sure, we went through the Airbnb report. We got our money back.
Right, and we did all the pictures and video of everything because again, what it was when you saw it on the Airbnb website, everything was very nice. Everything was very pristine, very clean.
It was many years ago.
And it was many years ago. Yeah. And that's the thing.
And we booked for 1 month. Not
for
just
1 month.
2 nights. 2 nights maybe okay.
I can
suck it.
Yeah. And that was the key. Like it was such a long stay, right? And there was like the plaster was peeling off the walls. There was like there was ants, like she said. Like the covers were old. I think there was even some cigarette burns on some of the covers.
No AC in the living room.
No AC in the living room. There was like electrical outlets. The kitchen was just not what it looked like. They took a picture of the camera of the kitchen like this, so you can only from the backside of the bar.
Oh.
Right. And so it looks very nice. And you go through it's all nice. Everything's just was not, again, in our opinion, it was just not what they portrayed.
And the Rada planned to stay longer. He said maybe okay. We just turn on the AC in the
rooms.
2 bedrooms. Keep the doors open. So in the afternoon when we come back after lunch, at least walking, it's cool inside.
Right.
Then it's maybe talk to the lady. She just lived across our door.
Right.
And then she's not cooperating with this. She said,
like,
no, our rule is when you walk in, you turn on the AC.
Yeah, when you leave, you have to keep the electric balance.
Of course, I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
And so we're, again, long story short, we were able to get our money back. Airbnb kind of saw it in our favor, right? Because again, we took a lot of evidence, pictures, right? And then I guess they compare it to what they were, and they gave us like 90% of our money back, which is great because it was a whole month.
We went through Airbnb because the owner didn't want to do that. I was even very nice. I said, look, your fault, my fault. I lose 1 week. I pay you 1 week. Can you just refund me 3 weeks?
And we'll be done.
Right. I'm not complaining, leave you bad comments, anything. Let it go.
Right.
I know I also respect your business here. No, she said no.
She wanted to give us back, like, well, I'll put it back on the market, and whatever we rent it for, I'll give you that much back. So if I rent it for 1 week for the rest of the month, I'll give you 1 week. If I get 2 weeks, this and that.
On your risk.
Right, on your risk. But we're kind of risking where we're at. And like I think she made a good point because when we talked about it, we're like, well, we're kind of stuck in the moment. We didn't want to at that point, really, she had all the power. Right? What could we say? We wanted to get out of there. So
we moved down. Then we reported to Airbnb. We got a good answer. Then of course the elder lady got pissed.
And she tried to come back on us and say that again that we destroyed her apartment and excessive cleaning. And this is what I told Airbnb. Guess how much damages and the excessive cleaning added up to? Yes.
How much?
Yes.
200 pesos?
No, the exact amount of money that Airbnb had refunded to us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And she showed
wow.
it to Airbnb. Same
wow.
pictures from the video screenshots, the broken wall, the ants, the dust from everywhere.
It was that we did it.
This
In one night.
Yeah.
In one night, you can eat through plaster.
Yeah, we messed up the plaster and the doors and everything.
And made ants.
Yeah, and put ants on and the cigarette burns.
Right, and told the ants, come all ants.
Yeah.
Right?
And like I said, the funniest thing is, like, again, my opinion, if you were trying to get some of the money back, you would be a little bit more smarter. And again,
Right.
you wouldn't ask for the exact amount of money that was taken from you. Like, really, I think anybody can see what they're trying to do.
The people at the beginning, they're always sweet. The
Always
first
sweet.
impression, they're so sweet, so nice.
Always sweet.
Offer you coffee in the morning, asking
Yes.
how you like it, everything. Oh,
Yes.
sweet older lady. But once the things turn,
A different story.
like, how can people be so evil?
Different
like-
story.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And here, have you found that it's kind of hard sometimes to negotiate fair outcomes?
What type of outcome? Like, what type of situation?
That whenever a problem does arise, like, do you realize that you have to fight tooth and nail
Yes.
for a lot of things that should just be returned,
Yeah. Yes, for
or
returns.
canceled, or
Yes.
just
You
You know,
fight for lots
yeah.
of things.
Yes.
Mhm.
Actually, I can like the gas.
Oh, the gas. Oh my gosh.
This just happened. This literally, we just got this taken care of 2 days ago, which is
There's
exactly
no
what
gas, no shower,
Right.
no cooking.
we have our gas on auto pay.
okay,
Right.
sure.
It's the best way to do it, by auto pay. For whatever reason, last month they didn't collect. For whatever reason, and I went to go look on there, and it still said auto pay is active. Okay, it's active, whatever. And we happened to walk out at the beginning of the week, Monday I think, and we come back and the gas is cut, right? And I saw a message from the security, the gas is here to cut, but they want to know if you made any payments. We're like, what are you talking about? So we got here too late. Gas is cut. Get on the phone, like, what's going on? And again, I'm on auto pay, so why don't you take my money, right? If you look at my history, I've always paid on time, right? Because it's auto pay, right? What do I need to do to take care of this? Well, of course you need to pay, what's owed. And I was like, okay, that's understandable, right? Sure. I was like, but this is something, in my opinion, was not my fault, right? Again, look at my record, look at auto pay, it's not my fault, right? Can you get somebody out here? If I pay, can I get somebody out here today to turn on the gas?
Right.
Right. Well, you got to make the payment first, and then of course, on the app and on the website, the button where you push to pay or pagar, it wasn't working. And it hadn't been working.
You didn't pay.
I guess since before it deactivated the pay button.
So now you had to go where?
Right. So then I call, and they're like, "Well, yeah, you have to go. You have to go to a bank, right?" And again, it's already 5 o'clock. The banks are closed.
Right.
But you can go to the cajero, like the ATM, and you can do it there. And again, where we live, it had to be through Banamex, Bancomer, which is a BBVA.
BBVA.
Which is, there's nothing around here for BBVA, right? You have to drive 30 minutes into town to do it. So again, and I was like, well, what's the point? It's already after hours, they're closed. What are you going to do? And after you make the payment, even if you do it, then we can maybe get someone out there to reconnect it, maybe. But you may have to wait 1 or 2 days to get your gas. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. And I even drove to Zibata. It said that there was one there. Ended up being a multi-use, so it wasn't BBS, so I couldn't make the payment there. So that screwed up. I was like, well, whatever. I came back and I was like, you know what? I think when I go onto the app, like the pay button, it's blue for like a second. Right? And I was like, let me, as soon as I open it, I'm like, try to push it. Right? And sure enough, I went, boom, and I clicked it, and it took me to the pay page. And so I paid, but my bank is through Santander. And so okay, look. And I got the confirmation email from Santander. I called the Engie, which is the gas company, and they said, okay, well, we see you made the payment to Santander, but we have to wait till it processes through Bancomer. And I was like,
wow.
I have the email. Can I send you the email, the confirmation from Santander? And they're like, oh no, we can't receive emails, right? And I was like, I had auto pay. I finally made the payment. I got the confirmation, and again, these are things I think back in the U.S. like sometimes even electrical company, utility companies will kind of work with you and understand, right? Yeah,
sure.
They'll at least be able to receive emails because I know I've been able to do it in the past. So it's all those little frustrations.
And when they make the mistake of the auto pay, they correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh, sorry, we'll get somebody out there. And so sure enough, even after all that, and I finally got taken care of, oh, we have to wait for it to process. And once it processes, oh, then we'll try to get somebody out there with 1 or 2 days. And I was like, so no, I have to wait till possibly Thursday, we like to cook. Now we have no hot water. I have a young child.
We had a challenge of shower that we boil the hot water, take upstairs, put it to the small Louie bathtub. Everyone just wipe off quickie.
Yeah. I took cold showers.
Oh.
No, I can't do cold showers. I can't do them. I can't do
But that was just
And again, I know some people out there may be like, "Oh, poor you." And there's worse off people in the world.
No, but these are big things.
Yeah,
these are big things. Now, as far as for me and my gas, your gas obviously comes from the city.
The NG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My gas is on top of my roof.
Oh, so you got the propane. Yeah.
I got the propane.
So you paid every time it.
Yeah.
No, ours is through. I don't know if NG is a national company. My assumption is it probably is. Like most utilities here are controlled by the government.
Okay.
So that was just a big pain again, and I think that's one of the things here in Mexico that people need to get used to is just the bureaucracy of everything. Here, bureaucracies are bad anywhere you go, but I think in Mexico they tend to be extra slow.
It's different.
Have you had any experience like that?
Yes, I have okay. Now I might have said this in a previous video that mañana does not mean tomorrow. I still stand on that.
Yeah.
And they will, in the middle of a deal that you negotiated and you said it would be this and that it would be this and that it would be that. And in the middle of this deal, they would change the parameters of the deal in the middle of the deal. As far as pricing, I've seen them change the price of things for lots of little different things that I've had done inside of my home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen them tell me that they paid this price for something when I know what price they paid for something. I've also seen it where, okay, if I can make it real clear, it's never going to be any accountability of a fault. So if you're looking for someone to tell you sorry, you're never going to get a sorry. You're never going to get an apology. And they're not going to help you to make it right.
Nope. Just like with the gas company.
Yeah, they're just going to tell you, oh, okay.
We understand.
And that's it. And they're going to leave you to try to figure it out. But they're not going to assist you and or help you with trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once we went to a Oaxaca restaurant in the Air Centro, Queretaro. Sure, my bad luck. From a plate, I ordered some mole or something. I found that the one from the dishwasher that's a
little steel.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We know sometimes it happens because it's not my first time had that in my food. But I paid. It's not cheap. It's a big mole plate.
That's Oaxacan food.
Yeah, Oaxacan, more popular Oaxacan food. And I find it. Of course, we reported to the waiter. And he got it, look at it. Didn't even report to any manager. I don't think anyone got involved. He said, "Oh, okay. Did he exchange it?"
No, I don't.
I think he didn't.
I don't think they exchanged it.
They didn't exchange it.
I think he just was like, "Oh, we're sorry."
Sorry. That was
That's it.
I said maybe they were bringing me a dessert or something,
or take a discount.
Or something. Nada, nothing. Okay, but I'm not begging for me a free meal. But that was the attitude here in Mexico. Nobody. In US, we had a bad experience. Sure, people are why you compare with US, but that's the international.
That's where we come from.
Restaurant should serve it anywhere in the country. You find something dirty in the dish, hey, write it up. In China, okay, this one I don't charge you. Right? Or something here's
or
cake.
Eva, I bring you another one.
Right. At the very least.
At least nothing Okay, you already took it out. That was it.
Oh, you got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Either discount free something. Yeah, and again, this is not US. We know that, but again, customer service is customer service. Right. I don't think most Mexican families would be happy with that situation.
Now, customer service is not the same here.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait for that. You're gonna have to wait for that.
Right. So again, people.
And here's the funny thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's 22 people working. You ever go to a place that there's 22 people working, but you can't get one of them
to come over?
Like in the restaurant, we keep calling and then just.
You're talking about when you went out with Kim, just
also
trying to get the coffee.
With you, we ordered the same thing. Even the lady, two ladies, the one girl said, "Okay, I will bring you the one when you order some dessert."
Oh yeah.
Oh sure, and then on the easier street, and then we talked to her already 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Now he remember.
Now I remember.
Then,
And then
okay,
she went and hide and disappeared,
let's
right?
talk to the manager. There's an older lady standing there smiling to us, smiling to me. I said, okay, maybe talk to her.
Let's get it.
But she said, okay, see. And then finally, after 20 minutes, we didn't get it.
What the hell is this? Like, and you could like see the dessert. It's like right there.
Right there.
It's right there. I see it.
Yeah, right there. But how many people work there? Like maybe
Enough.
22.
Yeah,
a lot, right?
And it wasn't like jam-packed busy.
No.
They don't have to be busy not to do it.
Right. I was like, that you could always use it as an excuse. But this particular case, they couldn't because it wasn't jam-packed. There was people there, but it was like, maybe 5-6 tables. It wasn't like they're overwhelmed and running. No, she was just like, oh yeah, okay, right back.
It's always okay, see, sure. And then look, nothing. Like, okay, then they say okay, they don't mean it. They just more like, leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Maybe that was the translation.
It's a polite, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, and
it's okay.
It's kind of a polite way. I don't think they're gonna ever tell you no directly.
No. Yeah.
Right.
And they're more polite.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they're more polite in their rudeness.
Very much so. So you believe them when they say yes, or when they say, "Oh yeah, possible."
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Possible, but not probable. They're not coming.
Yeah, and again, there's no reason for it, in our opinion.
Right.
Again,
Yeah, so they're not going to ever really tell you no. If it requires any bit of extra work. I've had them hide from me.
Hide from you.
Well, like you're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You're in a restaurant. It's 20 of them. Your server comes, bring you drinks. You don't see the server for 2 hours later.
Oh.
And you're like,
where'd they go?
Yeah.
Like, where? And they just all go and hide.
Yeah.
And then you call someone and they say, oh, okay, I'll go and get that other one. And then that person hides. And then the other person hides. And then they're like all hidden. And then eventually you see the busboy and you ask him,
where is everybody?
And then he goes and gets someone. And then it's just like odd.
Yeah.
And you're like, it was just 15 people here.
Yeah.
Where did they go?
They all disappeared.
Wow, maybe they really hate the job.
Could be.
Everyone smoke outside.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about the politeness.
What?
We have to mention that when we live in the Air Central, our next door neighbor,
we had some issues with
middle-aged lady, has two kids,
daughters,
divorced. They were there. Yeah, she's very nice.
At the beginning,
speak English.
Yeah, everything was,
nice.
For the first few months.
We always say hi. She likes Louie. Always Louie. Hi, Louie. There. Oh, a very sweet lady.
Yeah.
Until some issue happens.
Right.
And then not just us.
Even with another neighbor.
Even another neighbor, another Mexican young boy lived there.
Yeah, there's a group of them.
Yeah.
They're like 2-3 boys live together, or boys, men, young men who live together. Mm-hmm. And again, it has different situations, with just noise or this and that. And again, maybe most Americans, come from the background where maybe if there's an issue with your neighbor, you go kind of approach them directly. I know,
sure.
Like I know we've had an issue with this neighbor a couple of times. The first time I went over, like just partying late, I went over personally, knocked on the door. Hey, we're here, and can you just kind of keep it down? That's it. I'm telling you, neighbor to neighbor, and I could think 2-3 issues where that's happened here in Mexico, even back home. You always kind of try to approach it first.
Sure.
For some reason, this lady with a neighbor and with us went to her landlord, which was like her cousin, and to kind of report complaints, and then tell our landlord. So she told her landlord to tell our landlord tell us. And I guess maybe it's kind of the same idea. Like she didn't want to kind of put herself in I'm the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else reported it.
Someone else reported it.
Somebody else reported it, but it's pretty evident that it was her because it was us, her, and then some other older lady, and then the boys.
Yeah, the older lady is her, some auntie.
Right.
Have some family relation.
Some family relation too, and then same thing with the boys. They like to party a little bit late, which is is kind of understandable. But again, approach the people yourself. Be neighborly. And I mean, people like to party. It happens. It's Mexico. People like to party.
Sure.
But again, I think people should be secure enough in themselves and their relationship with their neighbor that they should be able to approach them and be like, hey, I understand, but it's getting late. I got kids. And I think most people will tend to back off.
Mhm.
Don't be kind of go behind people's back and like give the smile in their face, and then behind your back they're like, "Well, fuck these people." You know, like
Yeah, and
they do that. They do that very well.
yeah,
and the very
They do that very well.
Old apartments, they have those water pump, right? We forgot at the beginning. We also didn't know that because we always
new.
have the water pressure on the second story where
right,
we had
and
shower.
have the pump to take it
And
up.
I said, okay, let's just turn on the pump. Maybe we turn on the pump, but one evening we come home late, we forgot, we were tired to go to sleep with kids. And after the next day, he got a message from the landlord, like, please turn off your, don't keep the water pump on.
It's too loud for the neighbor.
Loud for the neighbor or something like.
The neighbor complained, like.
Just let us know. This is a small thing. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we forgot.
And she knew that we were new to Queretaro. We were new to Mexico.
Right. So she knew that she wouldn't know the protocol.
Right. You know, or at least maybe that could possibly cross your mind. Oh, you know, they're new people. They're foreigners to a new land. They don't know how everything works. Hey, neighbor, next time can you remember? Oh,
maybe even just leave your message and put on the door if you don't want to talk to us directly.
Right.
Yeah. Again, it's just that whole smile in your face and you know, knife in the back type of thing. At least for this situation, right?
And also one of our neighbor at the swimming pool. Remember this lady, also very smiling. Oh my God! She stepped to our back on the same day.
Yeah.
Like not very necessary.
Right. This is when we just got back from Houston. You know, we were gone for months, and we got back. You know, I think the next day, then we wanted to go swimming, so we went out. And again, I understood it that as long as there was less than 12 people, you could, and it was kind of whatever. People would go to the pool, but you know, the protocol had been changed to where like it's pretty much just one during the week, Monday through Friday, only one family can use the pool. Right.
Wow.
And of course there are exceptions of other people.
So you guys have an app as well, right?
Right. We have the app. Right?
Yeah.
But again, it was our first day gone. We were gone for months. I think things changed. And so we went out there, and the lady was like, "Oh, like, do you have a reservation?" I was like, "Oh, I thought as long as there was less than 12 people here, I was like, it was okay." And whatever. And she was there with her son.
She's not even in the pool. She was standing.
Yeah, standing on the side.
So the whole big pool, only her son.
Only her son.
Maybe like a 7-year-old son.
Right. You know, and so she's like, "Oh, okay," and like very nice, you know. But and we went in, and Louie played. I think it was just me and Louie at that time, and that was it. Okay, cool. And then the next day on the app, I have a citation.
Yeah. How did they charge you?
I don't think they tried. I think this was like the first one. So it was
it's the warning.
Right. You know, like, oh, you know, you're not, you know, you need to make a reservation.
The HOA don't play here.
No. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and like, yeah, you need to make a reservation. You know, you're not allowed to use the pool during other people's times. And I was like, this lady was so friendly and so sweet. And we talked to her son. And again, not that this is an issue, but it is part of the story. You know, her son has, I think, possibly autistic. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. But again, Louie was playing with him. We were cool. We were very friendly with her son. Very nice. And she had, a great time. Yeah, and then we leave, and then she's like, "No, fuck y'all. Like, don't be in my pool when I'm supposed to be here."
Yep.
And they told me the story. I said, okay. and the other day I went there. We went to the gym, and she was there. I don't want you to say hi to this kind of bitch. Like, and she said, "Hola," and I just walked by. I don't even want to talk.
Yeah, roll your eyes and walk by.
For people like this, I'm not trying to be rude. I always say hi to people.
Yeah.
But for people like this,
no,
I don't want to talk to you.
And again, it's the same situation as neighbor. Like if you would have just approached us and when we were there and said, "You know what, this is our time," and then maybe we could have understood and walked. But why did she have to like be up?
No, well, they will tell on you.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, so you know where I live, the homes look more. They're hard to tell where to park at.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's very easy for someone to park in the neighbor's
spot.
Okay. And sometimes when I have visitors, they park in the wrong spot, right? And it's an overreaction that's really kind of crazy because you're like, really? Because you like, thank God life is so good for you that the only thing that you can complain about is that someone parked in your parking spot for 7 minutes. That means life is good for you. Because that means that you don't have any real problems.
Problems.
Right? And it's like, no parking. No parking. No parking.
Yeah.
No parking. No parking. So then it's like 10 calls from the guard or 10 text messages, no parking. So I'm like, who's this for? Because I don't even know what's going on, right? Because I'm oblivious. And I'm just like, oh shit, this is for me?
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to be respectable. What do you mean respectable?
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't mean what.
What do they do?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's like, okay, where I live at, we have like maybe 140 people, so that means I got 139 cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Yeah. Everybody's on.
Yeah.
Because they're all looking. No, they can't park in front of the house. Okay.
Yeah.
And the visiting parking is just a little bit far. And some people might have mobility issues, right? Okay, so, and some people might only be coming for a minute or two.
Right, drop something off, right?
Right, drop something off.
No parking.
Jax, no parking. Do you not understand? And then I get it in Spanish. Do you not understand the rules? Yeah, I think I do.
I got it.
Yeah, I kind of think I understand the rules, but I didn't know it was going to be, like
big
that.
Deal. Yeah, and I think they even try to
because I don't tell on anybody.
Yeah.
No, they park in front of my house, I could care less.
Yeah.
They park inside my driveway for a moment or two. I already know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
I know it's by accident. I know whoever did it can't differentiate between mine and where they're going.
Right.
Right. So I already know what it is. So if you know what it is, because they just look similar.
Yeah, and
you can't tell. Okay, like this one. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know which one. I might have would have parked on the other one instead of up on this side, right? Because it's just real hard to tell which one is the free spot.
Right, because everything they all kind of blend in together.
Right. They all kind of blend in. So if someone parks in mine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I know why you parked in it. You parked in it by accident.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. If you park in front of my house,
they're gonna teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Right. So when they have company and they park in front of my house and when they park in mine, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? But if someone of mine parks in there, they call the guard. I've never seen you remember in kindergarten?
Yeah.
When you was a small child, and if you had older siblings, and if you was the youngest one, and you like, mommy, such and such did this, and like your mother would tell you, like, stop telling, it's not nice to tell.
Oh yeah. Don't be a tattletale.
Okay. They need the memo.
They need to go back to kindergarten. Don't be a tattletale.
Because it's the most weirdest, and then it be with so much passion. You be like, we gonna get this passionate
about
because someone parked in a parking spot that is by accident.
Yeah.
And
I think
and it's a level of passion
and I think they promote it too, even the security and the HOA or the company that kind of controls, because I know we had an issue same thing. I think her dog, the young girl who stayed here, I think their dog was barking once at night and so again the dog was barking. And then so I kind of reported it to hey, can you get a hold of the neighbor?
Right.
I was like, her dog's barking.
She's not even there.
She wasn't there.
Right.
And again, and they're like, you should write her a ticket. I was like,
no. We just want to find her, give her a call. When you go home.
When are you going to come home? Right. And this was the next day, same thing. I went over there and I talked to her. And I was like, our son's here. It was late. Your dog was barking. And I even told her they wanted me to give you a citation. I told them no. I was like, we're neighbors.
Right.
I don't want that kind of animosity between us. We need to be cool. We're gonna live next to each other.
Oh, they don't be playing with them citation tickets, man. They don't be playing. And then they got that little board. They be going.
Oh, I see that. They walk around at night.
Yeah. They put that board.
The HOA. Oh, I've seen it. We got some things.
What that for?
Oh,
the tattletale board. It's the tattletale board.
Just like in the HOA.
Yeah.
You know how you always get the pictures and stuff?
Wrong.
They do the same. Yeah. They do the same thing.
Yeah. It's the tattletale board. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
When I see them, I'm like,
I
pull down my blinds. You're not telling on me today.
Yeah. It's like all those guys, Osman, all them. They all walk. I've seen them before at night. It's usually at night, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. They all walk around. They go down every neighborhood. Yeah, all 4 or 5 of them together.
And they looking for stuff. And you like, what are you looking for?
Issues.
Right.
Just like any HOA.
Just like any HOA.
Everywhere in the world. HOA is the same.
Something.
Some issue, right?
Like back in Texas, you can't have your trash can in the front yard, on your driveway.
On your driveway.
You gotta put
and we did it, and then some issue, anything else, we did it. So in the end, they couldn't find anything else to complain. They said, "Oh, you put your flower pots on the driveway." I said, "Yeah, they've been sitting there for 2 years. Now you don't have more issues to find."
So again, not just Mexico, everywhere.
I think HOAs are probably always. I think HOAs worldwide are probably always one and got a deficit.
That's their job.
And they use the fines and the citations to make up for the people who aren't paying their HOA fees. And
Probably.
I've been saying that for years because they give tickets worse than cops.
Yeah.
They talk about the HOA fee. Like he didn't pay the HOA fee for how many months?
Oh, I forgot.
Right,
Lots.
for a long time because they never opened the kids' playground.
They never did a lot of things that were supposed to.
Yeah, not supposed to do. So so he refused to pay with a reason. And then he got the tickets. Hey, this year, now this is the fine. I said, are you going to fight with them on this? Or just pay and shut up?
Right.
You were not winning.
You're not going to win.
No, you are the one family. I don't know how many families does that.
Right. You can't win.
Then just to pay it and let it go.
And just be done
with it.
Otherwise,
pay it and let it go.
Even we sell the house, whatever down the way. Hey,
they'll take the money.
They'll take the money.
They won't take the money. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
yeah. So HOAs are kind of, but don't get us wrong. We do like the fact that we do live in an HOA.
Yeah, it's the good and the bad. It's the good and the bad.
Okay, all right.
That's true.
Because our pool is clean, the lawns are manicured. So understand what we're saying here, right?
Yeah.
So the pool is clean, the lawns are manicured, the pool house or whatever clubhouses that we have are kept nice, and the grounds are good. So that's not what we're saying. And our security guards, because hey,
nice
yes, everyone has to say how nice the security guard is. Who protects you is very important.
Yeah.
So yay to all security guards.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we're just saying that if you come to Mexico specifically, not especially, but specifically, and you live in a HOA, they're going to have this little clipboard and they're going to walk around and they're going to tell shit all day. And that's all they're going to do. They're just going to walk around and tell shit.
Yeah. It's like in HOA, the good and the bad, right? It's always the when you get fined and tagged and this and that for everything.
And they see everything.
Yeah, but it's nice again that it helps kind of keep things in order. Like it's not very messy outside.
Yeah.
Right.
It keeps it's definitely good for property value because it's going to keep the homes to a level of especially for resale value, right?
Standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't paint the houses all different colors.
No, you can't paint the house all different colors.
Right.
You can't have all sorts of stuff outside, visibly.
Right.
Which is very good because some people would have all sorts of things.
Right.
So I mean, they're good for their purpose.
Right.
But you see, I guess in Mexico, you just really have to be patient.
Yeah.
And
patience.
You got to be patient. And whatever you're trying to do, you're not going to get done today. And you may get done in a couple of days, but whatever you're trying to do to get done today may not happen today.
No, don't expect it.
Yeah.
But, so if you need to do business, start on Monday. And remember, I'm talking about business that's down to the offices.
Right.
If you got to go to an office, if anything, start on Monday. In case you have to come back Tuesday, and then maybe by Wednesday you need to have
maybe
it.
Wednesday, Thursday it'll be settled.
And maybe
Wednesday, Thursday
until it's done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like another story now reminds me of the push story was when we were looking for houses or invest here. We found a condo
to get our money back.
Yeah, and we put the deposit in
the earnest deposit, and if you don't want it, but then
give it
you
back
got
to you.
25 days or whatever to say no, and they give it back to you.
Right, that was
Had the same problem.
That's the same, and here was the story.
Oh, it took months to get back, and finally to the point where we went to the office and talked to them, and they're like, well, we can't, we have to talk to this specific person, he's the one in charge. I think when it kind of finally started getting resolved, it was like, okay, come back this day and we'll have it. And I go back and it wasn't there. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Come back 2 more days and it'll be ready. It'll be here. No. And okay, well, it's because this guy's in charge of he's not there. And I said, well, can I have that guy's number? So I can call him to find out when he'll be here. Oh, no, we can't give you his number. I was like, what? Is he the president of Mexico? You can't give me his number? And it was literally probably about a week and a half of literally every day. I'm going to come here every day.
And I said, I'm going to film you.
Yeah.
And we live here.
Yeah. We live here.
And the manager or the lady who charged up this case, she asked us, where do you live? Here.
Yeah. We're not coming from across town.
2 minutes.
We'll be here every day. And
right.
I think finally when we started telling them we'll be here every day and we'll come back and start filming you all.
And I was very pissed to her.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to bother your job. I know you're doing your job there.
Right.
Come on, we need our money back.
Right. It was agreed upon. It was months.
Don't play game with us.
Yeah. And then finally, they said, okay, come back this day. And then finally, honestly, probably the 4th or 5th time they said, come back this day.
It's very hard.
It was there.
It's very hard to get them to honor a contract, or it's in my opinion, it's very hard to get them to honor what was agreed upon prior. And at any point in time, if it's a deviation, normally the deviation is from their side.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes it can be from, your
Sure.
side as well. But they're not going to do anything to ratify, to rectify. They're not going to do anything to make it right.
Or quick.
You're just on your own, basically.
Yeah.
And they can care less whether you got it. They could care less. And, it's like, okay, this is the first time I had an Amazon package missing. Okay.
Oh.
We had Amazon Prime Week. What was it? A week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Okay. So Amazon sent me the delivery email.
Oh, right.
And it comes up on my Alexa devices, packages delivered. I opened it up and it says left at the security guard, right? Okay. I go to the security guard the following day, right? And say, can I have my package? They said, well, what security guard was on? I said, well, whoever was there at 6:23 yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? And they said, well, it wasn't me. Okay, well, where's my package?
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, I could care less. So it was a whole big thing. And up to this day, they won't tell me who was working that day. So I just went on Amazon and said, look, I know that it was delivered to the security guard, but maybe it was delivered to another security guard because my address has an A, B, and C.
Oh. Might be.
Okay, so we have another one that's a B.
Right. So maybe they gave it to the wrong person.
Right. So maybe they delivered it to a whole other complex.
Right.
Okay, who knows? But it was like, and I'm like, okay, well, Amazon said that Juan Carlos signed for it, right?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so now I go to them and I was like, yo, they said that Juan Carlos signed for it.
Yeah.
So I said, so which one of you is Juan Carlos? And then he's like, oh, well, I have to check.
You have to check?
Like, what you mean you have to check?
Yeah.
Some one of you is Juan Carlos.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
And if you're not Juan Carlos, so then I go to the other two places and I said, well, I go to the security guard places and I said, I'm looking for Juan Carlos. And he's like, Juan Carlos? All right. So anyway, I just got it back from I had to go on Amazon to do a complaint or whatever, and Amazon finally sent it to me or whatever. But it was no help, no assistance.
Yeah.
Then come to find out yesterday that one did sign for it.
Yeah.
And Juan Carlos does work where I work.
Yeah.
I mean, does work where I live.
They're trying to cover for him.
Listen, dude, I don't. But what I'm saying is, you couldn't just, when I went there, looked and told me who worked yesterday.
Yeah. It's on the schedule.
Yeah.
But they won't.
They don't want to do that.
No.
They won't go a little above and beyond. Maybe they really don't know Juan Carlos, but there's a schedule.
There's a schedule, right? Yeah. So it's you're on your own in Mexico.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what was that. Maybe that person want to help. Maybe he knows Juan Carlos. He don't want to cover his.
No, but they don't ever really want to.
Go above and beyond to do.
Yeah, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
You want to talk to their manager, security office in charge of it.
Listen,
It's just completely
here, and which is bad, right? Because this is one of the few places that you could be on your own for a level of safety. But you are really going to be on your own for a lot of different things. And you're going to have to be able to learn how to navigate.
Yeah.
Because this place requires a lot of navigation.
Yeah.
Navigation with culture, navigation obviously with bureaucracy.
With language. For
language,
some people.
yeah. Well, language for me, because I don't speak Spanish. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, I really don't. I know uno, dos. A couple of days of the week, not all.
Yeah.
But you're gonna find just a lot of different things that you're just gonna have to get used to. And I'm so much more used to a lot of different things anyway. I've traveled, so not everything here is too much or too far-fetched. But you're gonna really have to. You're gonna have to come with your patient game.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to come here with your patient game because they're not gonna be rushing to help you. And even when you do get in, like most places, they'd be like, "Oh, the manager will come," and then you get happy because you think that you're gonna get assistance.
Nope.
Manager is worse than the other person.
Yeah, it doesn't get or they don't come. I think last time we took someone to La Comer, they said, let me go check with the manager. So we thought the manager was coming. The person just comes back, oh no, the manager said no. That was it.
That's it. That's it. No one comes to, and that's even if they went to see them. He probably just walked away 5 feet, waited 3 minutes, came back and said the manager said no.
Yeah, who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Who knows, right? Yeah, maybe no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I know that's a lot of the negative.
And the people also feel like, oh, all the people here are so patient. Like when they drive, they're not in the US, they horn you. But we don't feel like all like that. Like some
better.
People better. Some
For
people
sure.
that not have so much patience.
Sure.
Not everyone. I heard honk all the time.
Yeah. People honk behind you and stuff.
And one man you met on the street, he's totally lost his patience.
In front of the house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which is probably the worst event. Yeah. Again, I was trying to get off the negative stuff, but yeah, that is probably that was probably the worst thing that happened to us. Was again, this was back in the Central. Whenever it was like a driveway, and it was a one-way street to get into our property, and normally, we'd always try to back in because we were way towards the end, and of course, when you're leaving, it's a lot easier to just drive out forward. So I'd always try to back in, and every time, like if there was a car behind me, I'd always try to stop in front of the gate, put my hazards on, and kind of let them know, like, hey, I'm going to go in here. Like,
right.
let me drive forward, and let me back up.
Right.
Never had an issue, right? Until this one time, where again the same thing happened. I stopped. And then I went, and then I stopped, and I kind of pointed, hey, I'm going here. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up driving forward, and the guy got right on me, right? Mm. And and I was trying to I was hey, let me back up. I was like, back up, let me get in here. And he just refused, and then the other car started coming right behind him. So again, making it worse. Mm-hmm. And so again, I was kind of, I'll take partial fault for it getting started. I got on my car, and I was, hey man, like, what the hell, like. Why didn't you let me go in? Like, just back up a little bit. I'll go in. And the driver got out, and we started kind of arguing with each other. And then what ended up being his brother gets out, and you could tell a little bit on the driver, but man, his brother, you could smell the alcohol. So he was pissed drunk, right? And we started arguing back and forth, and I was like, well, what the fuck? I was like, why can't you just move back? I told you I was moving. And again, I'll admit I antagonized him. I was like, oh, like how cute, que chulo, you're all drunk and then he kind of got up on me and kind of cornered me into the car and the door, which was again my fault, and again in the sense that I should have been more aware. And he just boom sucker punched me. With her and Louie in the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
and
really?
I just saw Rod just fell on the side of the car. I got really scared.
Oh my God.
And I got up and I was like. I went down to like a knee or whatever. I went down because again, it just surprised me.
And that man looks much taller. But he's even taller and bigger.
Yeah,
figure-wise, he's bigger. Yeah.
But I think when I got up, I was just seeing red. I mean, I was like, "You mother!" And I got up, and I think at that time, Louie started crying, and she started yelling, and our neighbor was there, another neighbor, and he came out, and I think he saw me going to the other guy. Yeah. Like I was just.
Oh, you was ready.
Yeah. And I think the guy thought he was gonna knock me out or something. Because as soon as he saw me get up and go, he went and he sat back down in the car.
Yeah.
As if he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
right?
And my neighbor got in front of me and was like, don't like.
No. But look, he went and got in the car as if he didn't do anything, right?
Yeah. I'm so naive.
Yeah. They do that.
Yeah.
They do that.
And I go after him, and I get in trouble.
And they poke. Yeah. And then when you get ready, then and then they go scurrying off.
Yeah, and then my neighbor got in front, and that's it. I mean, I'm glad he did. And I thanked him. I bought him some beer and stuff. Like, thank you, because I told him I was hot. I was like, at that point, I was just
fight.
Yeah,
but
which would have been stupid.
They said you're one guy. They're two guys.
Yeah. And again, and
he's pissed drunk.
And they're pissed drunk. And and again, I don't know, but I guarantee we probably both would have gone to jail.
Yes.
And I probably would have been charged with something. Yes. And they probably would have either gotten off or gotten less.
And it caused a bad traffic jam on the narrow street.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it would not have worked well.
It would not have worked well for me.
No, it would not have worked well for you. So it was very good
for those kind of
that
people.
You calmed down.
Yeah. And I'm glad my neighbor was there.
Yeah.
I said if my neighbor was not there, it would have been ugly. Oh yeah.
Two neighbors, both over there.
Yeah. It would have been ugly.
And they both speak English very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes, like I said, it's a tendency that they come and poke you,
Yeah.
And then scurry back in the
And again,
How do
as
you know
if-
you had a similar experience?
right. And what would have happened with the witnesses in the back?
with all of them. With
How do
all
you
of
know?
them.
I don't know that.
Oh no, with all of them, they do that. Okay. All right. I give an example. Me and I changed up my countertop. Okay, so I changed up the countertop, I bought the slab, and part of the person coming to measure it or whatever was them to remove the granite that was on
Over
it.
there, right?
Okay, that was a part of the deal. Okay? All right. I'm trying not to call her the word I like to call her. So she said that that's not a part of it. I said, so why wouldn't the removal be a part of it when that's where...
Well, you're just going to lay it on top?
And that's what we agreed upon.
Yeah.
Right? And you said, what day would I be available so that... you said that they come the day before, remove it, and the second day, a different set of people put it on.
Yeah.
No.
That's not what I said.
So I'm like, no what? No.
No.
What you mean no?
Yeah.
So now I'm taking out the I'm taking out the little contract thing.
Yeah.
And I'm, I got my Google Translate,
Trying to find it, yeah.
Right. So I got my Google Translate, and I said, this says removal.
Oh yeah, removal. Yeah.
Right? I said, this removal.
There.
No.
Still
No.
No, that's not what it said.
No. And I was like, what you mean no? Right? And she was like, and then she did this.
Like just trying to dismiss you.
Right.
Just like you're arguing.
Yeah. So she did this. And I was like, what? So I'm like, well, no, I paid you this, and this is what you're gonna do. And when are they coming? Because we were supposed to be scheduled for this, and none of this happened, and you've already gotten paid because you have no problems getting money from me from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because nothing here is after,
Yeah,
so,
money up front. Yeah.
Right, pretty much. So now we're going back and forth and back and forth. She's acting like I'm crazy. I'm saying this thing says removal. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
What else you should
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. It said it translated to hard surface removal.
Yeah.
Which I know is countertop.
Granted.
Right. But that's how sometimes Google Translate it different.
Sure.
Right. So it said hard surface removal. Okay. So finally, we're going back and forth, and we're really going back and forth. And they're telling me to leave the store. And I said, if I leave this store, I'm going to kill this. Right? I don't have no problems leaving the store, but she's not going to stay alive. Right? You understand? Yeah. And then finally, we get it done. And she just didn't call them to schedule. So instead of saying that, hey, I didn't put it on schedule, and let's just reschedule, you just say no.
Yeah.
But how do you do that?
Yeah.
Or why don't you just say, even if you don't even tell me what's going on, why not, while that I'm there, call them and see if they can come tomorrow.
Next day. Reschedule.
Right.
Reschedule.
But no, you won't do that. So that's why I said, you'll be in a problem all by yourself. They won't try to assist their mistake. They will make a mistake and they will not correct it. And I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah.
No.
They will not correct it and tell you no. And you're like, what you mean no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to again hope to frustrate
and then
you
get
and
you
then
angry.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so now that I'm irate and I'm all crazy, right? Because she's saying no, right? And now everyone else has come. She's dropped down, but I'm still crazy.
So everyone sees you like
right. It makes it look like I'm not.
Yeah.
Right.
This woman is a liar.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking with mine. Like if that guy would have gone in the car and then I go approach the guy in the car, everybody behind, they didn't see him punch me.
No,
what do they see? They see the guy walk to his car and then they see me go to him.
Right. And what's gonna happen, right? What's gonna happen is you're gonna go to the car and you're gonna drag them out.
Yeah.
And that's when they're videoing.
Video,
well, that's when the videos come out.
That's when the video starts. So the video starts with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The American punched the innocent
innocent
Mexican
Mexican.
older man.
Yeah. That's what it would have been.
Yeah.
Some crazy.
And then that same man, when the police would have came over, I didn't do nothing.
Well, I was out with my brother. We were just drinking, having a good time.
And this man, he came and he attacked. Yeah, that's what they'll say.
Well.
So it's interesting. But now that can be anywhere.
That can be all of these things can be anywhere. All of these things can be anywhere. Again, these are just our experiences here in Mexico.
But most likely here.
Especially that story, the no story from the lady.
Service in the U.S. and Canada. I mean, well, I'm assuming Canada has to be very different. Would be my assumption. But again, you can't get bad customer service, but things like that is just crazy, right?
Now they'll just tell you no, or just tell you midstream, or like it didn't happen, or it's okay. It's just like okay with you, auto pay.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a glitch. Something happened with the programming. They could have looked and see.
Nope.
Okay, and look.
Yeah.
You may or may not be back on auto pay.
Look at every month from before. Boom, 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 and that one something happened. No. Well, as I said, so let's kind of switch over to good stories. Let's switch over. I know we talked a lot about negative things, and so again, we know people love to be like, "Don't hate Mexico. Mexico is awesome."
Oh, we love Mexico.
It is.
Yeah, that's why we're still here.
That's why we're still here. That's why we love it.
Yeah, we love Mexico.
And again, there's always positive stories, right?
We love Mexico.
So we'll try to wrap up and maybe tell, maybe 1 or 2 little positive stories again. Again, of people always talk about the culture and the people, and again, and people need to understand it's like this anywhere part of the world. In my opinion, probably 80-90% of the people are good people, right? It's always just that 10% that just kind of mess it up. Maybe like the 80-20 rule, 90,
80-20,
right? 20% of the people fuck things up for everybody else,
sure,
right? But I know one of the first things that I'll kind of go first that comes to mind was when we first came here, and actually we were talking about the situation yesterday before about San Miguel de Allende. The first time we went, and we stayed at the house. Out in the countryside. So we went to San Miguel de Allende for a weekend. It was the first time there, and we ended up getting a little Airbnb kind of on the outskirts of San Miguel de Allende. And one night we were going somewhere. I think we were trying to go eat or go to the grocery store or something like that. And the GPS had me going down these dirt roads, as sometimes they do in Mexico. And I've noticed it here because there's some dirt roads back here behind our property. And the GPS has those roads marked. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And
be careful. Don't go on them roads.
Especially at night. And so again, these are all things
some of those roads are privately owned. They taking you on people's people's property.
And I think this was at one time a road, and then I could even see where we were going. I was like, it's right there. Like it was like down at the bottom of the hill. It's like there it is. I was like, okay, I don't like that. It's a dirt road. It's a little, but I can see where we're going.
And then when he's driving, I don't have a good feeling about it. The why is getting darker and darker.
Yeah.
Just my sixth sense told me something is going wrong.
Yeah.
Then I started to talk to him. He said, "Oh, just be quiet. Let me drive." Like
I'm already frustrated.
Very intense.
Yeah.
Right.
So I said, okay, but I don't want to. You drove us to some weird dangerous
area. Right.
The Louie is very
Louie
young.
with us. It was about a year, and all of a sudden, like the road is there, and then it's like a ditch, right?
A real ditch.
Not like wood, but a ditch. And and I tried to. Well, I think. I've grown up in trucks and like that, and I know when these things just kind of approach them at an angle, and sometimes you can kind of go. Well, I think dirt got just real soft. Again, maybe stupid male ego brain got in the way. And
it had to be a man thing because we could have stopped.
I would have stopped there right away.
We would have stopped back there.
Yeah, I know the way. The GPS told me.
It's right there.
Yeah.
So, dump me, my mistake. And again, I tried to traverse it, at an angle to try to quarter through it. And again, I think the dirt just got soft real quick, and we ended up getting stuck. It's late, but not that late. Maybe like 8 o'clock, right? So, but it's dark. So it's dark, and we're in. It's like, in a field or whatever you want to call it. Kind of between neighborhoods. So it's there's nothing out there, and of course we get out, and she's pissed. Obviously.
And that you got about 5 minutes to fix
to try to do something. And of course, I started looking for rocks and boards and things to kind of put under the tire to try to get the grip, and like nothing's working. And again. We're new to Mexico. You hear the stories about Mexico. We're kind of in a dark area,
right?
And there's not many people coming by. And there's a neighborhood over here. Maybe we walk to the neighborhood, and then maybe about that time, we were probably there. Maybe again, it's a long time ago. Maybe 20, 30 minutes. And
maybe
then
up to 15 minutes.
Maybe 15.
10 minutes.
Right? A family comes by. Right?
Okay.
And they're like, and I try to explain to them what's happening, and again, maybe it's just being new to Mexico, but they kind of felt that there was an unease between me and them and us, whatever. And I don't know if they come and help us or they said, "Oh, we'll send somebody back." And it's always kind of weird because where are they going? Who are they going to go talk to? Right?
That was the man talk to us.
Right.
Not the lady.
Yeah, it was a man, right? And then he comes and a guy does try to help us a little bit, help us try to Jimmy and try to push it and stuff. And like, well, let me go get some people.
Yes, people.
And again, so what does that mean? And again, you hear the stories in Mexico, like I'm gonna go get some people. Here's some foreigners stuck in a
in a ditch.
In a ditch, like
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
I work at a kidnapped me and my little
right. And so he's like you thinking like, hey man, the ditch is already dug. we can take them. And we can, they already.
Who are they gonna go get? And so the guy's like, I'll be back. Let me go get some people. Oh, what can you do, right? And it's there and it's dark and she's still upset and rightfully so. And then maybe this time maybe about 30 minutes later or so, you see a truck start driving through. Right?
Okay.
And they come and it's like 5-6 guys in a truck. Again, in Mexico, 5-6 guys in the truck. Right. There's some stories that don't end well when you hear 5-6 guys in the truck.
In the middle of nowhere in a ditch.
I remember I was holding Louie. I don't want to stay inside the car. We already walked. Stay a little bit distant from them. In case something happens, I can run.
At least get a shot. But again, at the end of the day, they were cool. They all got off. They took in the truck. I think it's kind of a tow truck looking thing, and so they had a chain. They found a hook in the back. They booked it up and they just pulled it out. Right, and again, they were just like, all right, cool. Everyone's like, thank you. And then again, they didn't ask, nothing like that. But again, just for being helpful. Again, I was more than happy to give them some money. I was like, here's some money,
like for them to have a drink or dinner,
whatever you want. Hey, and so again, that's kind of the good of the experience, right? Again, you always hear about the people being good here, and again, you always hear the bad stories about situations like that. And again, we were fortunate. Who knows, things could have been worse, but
of course,
we were very fortunate. I made a mistake. Some people came to our help. The first family went to go get some other guys. Other guys came back, help. I can't help you. Let me go get some more guys. And again, they don't know us. There's no reason for them to help us. They were just out of their own goodwill. They didn't ask for anything.
Right.
When they were done, they were just kind of like,
bye.
Right. Yeah. Maybe not initially. Maybe if we would have walked away, they might have been like, hey. But at least initially, they didn't ask for anything. Yeah. So that was very nice, very friendly. Again, it was a very kind of nice, kind of an odd, scary situation to say the least. That turned out very nice and friendly. And again, it kind of showed the goodwill of the people. They had no reason to help us, and they helped us. All right, so cheers to those guys.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah,
no, that is nice. That's very nice. That's humanity right there.
Yeah, like I said, that's the 80%. Right.
Yeah.
I know we spent an hour talking about the negative, but it's always fun to talk about the negative.
Okay, so
but there is good.
You only
stuff.
got one good story.
That's probably my best story. I mean, I could probably think of some other ones, but I don't know if you have anything you want to share. Maybe if you can think of one.
I saw that the people we met here, like the realtors, they're nice for anything, any contact at the beginning they give to us. Help us.
Yeah, with all the extra
realtors
people.
were nice, right?
Right.
Yeah, all of my realtors were towards the end. The realtors were nice. How was your home buying process?
Easy.
Was it smooth?
Pretty easy.
Yeah, I think at the beginning we talked to some sales office here. They not so sure how foreigners buy
properties
here until
we talked to
until we.
I think we talked to guys that.
No, I think it was Cumbria. We were also planning to buy the condo there.
Oh, the Cumbria, the top story.
Right. Top.
Yeah.
And they. Let's talk about funny. We really liked the apartment, but they never charged us deposit. We want to pay. We want to pay it. We want to hold it. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like they went ahead and like signed off on it.
That's awesome.
Like this is now your apartment.
Yeah.
And they never took our money for the deposit.
And until
and we would try to pick up like we don't want to lose this apartment. Like can we pay the money? Like no, don't worry. You can come next week and drop off the money.
And then we changed our mind.
And then we changed our mind and said, nah, we don't want the apartment, found a house.
And the man didn't work there anymore.
Yeah. I think that might have been part of the issue that the guy who was our initial contact left to go work somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean
but people are kind to kind of give you recommendations and stuff. Definitely realtors. Even just like with Louie's car. Like Louie has a little truck.
Oh yeah.
Little Hot Wheels. And it got left out last year before we left, and it stopped working, and then it sat here for like months and months and months. When we were back in Houston, we came back. We're like, let's see if we can fix it, right? And so I just put it in our neighborhood chat, and one of the neighbors said, "Oh yeah, I'm an electrical engineer. You want to bring it over? I can take a look at it, And I took it over, sure enough, and he checked it out over a couple of days and told me what was wrong. He's like, just buy these parts. If you buy the parts, I can put it together. And he did charge me, but very reasonable. He charged like 500 pesos.
Right.
For electrical work, and this guy's degree, he can probably charge me whatever. Again, I wasn't expecting free. Still very nice. Again, I think even the 500 pesos, he was just kind of like, whatever. I don't think he was trying to be overcharged me or whatever, because obviously it was fair in my opinion. But again, it was very nice. He just said, "Yeah, bring it over." I'll take a look at it. He got it working again, and just that was cool. Just very friendly, and just people recommend things, and people help kind of take care of issues you may have. A lot of our neighbors have been very friendly. I can definitely speak to a lot of our our neighbors have been very nice and inviting to us.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Anything else? Like, why
are the good stories so hard to come back?
No, it's also good stories. Like we talk about the bad owners on Airbnb we met here in Mexico, but we also experienced some good owners. Like we booked in Zihuatanejo, plan to go there for 1 month or something about 1 month.
Yeah.
And our schedule changed. We have to go back to the US for the work.
Yeah.
So it's already after the cancellation, 48 hours or something.
Oh yeah, it was like weeks later.
Right. And I was like, let's just try to explain the thing. Maybe he can do us a favor.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
He returned
and luckily there was still enough time, like where even when he canceled, it was still like 1 or 2 months out. And he explained the situation. We have to go back. Wasn't expected. We're sorry. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Like I think he's like, let me cancel it because I think if I cancel it, then you can get your full refund back. And he went ahead, he canceled it, we got our money back, and it was cool, right? So yeah, there's definitely good Airbnb.
He did charge a little bit fee, maybe I forgot it, but
maybe, but I don't think so.
It was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, welcome. If you come back next time.
Yeah. We plan to go back, but not yet. Yeah, no, they're good. And even like with PV, with the when we moved out of the last place, they gave us our money back, no problem.
Yeah.
Right. Again, there was some construction noise outside, like way like
I mean,
construction
they just do supposedly. She did her job. He just being nice.
Right.
He doesn't need to refund us.
Right. All that. I mean, he could have been very much been like, nope, that's the cancellation policy. Right. Sorry. Right. And I bet you there's a lot of people, a lot of Airbnb owners out there in the world who probably would have done that. Said, nope. My money.
I think most people are good. Just we really need to understand the culture here.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. For the most part, I'd say most people are good.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I think you have to understand the culture.
Understand.
Right? Yes.
Right. Again, I think a lot of these things may be cultural, and I think even like last time when you explained, about people taking accountability, I think one of the comments was, that's kind of the Mexican culture. They tend not to be.
They're not going to.
Yeah, not. He put in the terms of. They don't want to be combative, right? They try to be good. So
basically, what he said is that they're not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was from a Mexican talking about Mexican culture, right? So it is these cultural differences.
Yeah.
As foreigners,
they're not going to.
That we need to understand, right? It's going to be frustrating.
Yeah, it's going to be frustrating.
I think like the first
but
time
not everything is going to be frustrating.
With the realtor, also when we left the apartment earlier.
Oh yeah.
Just from the contract that she never explained this to us.
Right.
Now we never understand, and we have to get the.
We're supposed to pay like 2 months of rent.
Like 1 month compensation, another month is keep it there for deposit.
Right.
But no, if we pay it, we're gonna lose it.
Right.
So you never explained this to us.
Right.
And she was pretty insist. I told you everything. Like,
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was our apartment in Central, and she was talking about.
I'm not going to mention the realtor's name.
Right.
That was the story.
Right. We understood we broke the lease, and we were ready to lose.
I think I got an idea who the realtor is.
Not him.
No, I know not.
Okay.
Not her. You think maybe?
I don't know. Well, we'll talk about it off camera. But yeah, we knew we were going to lose a deposit. And we're okay with that because that's when we're going to move into this house. Right? So we'll lose a deposit. Worst case, we understand we're breaking the contract. Like, you're supposed to pay like another 1 or 2 months more as part of the contract. And I got and I started talking to our realtor, and I was like, "You never explained this to us." And she was like, "Yes, I did." I was like, "No." I was like, "Look," I was like, "We're in real estate." I was like, and I was like, and I understand things may be different in Mexico and the U.S., but if you would have told us in the contract when we were signing that if we were to break the lease early, that we'd have to pay like compensation, I was like, we would have at least questioned it. And then maybe you would have explained it to us, and then maybe we would have agreed to it. But I was like, I guarantee you, I was like, as soon as that would have come out, we would have been like, what's this? Because that's not normal in the U.S. Right. So it would have like clicked in our brain. And she was like, no, again, insisted.
Now we understand this better.
Why she had told us. And I was like, no. Like,
and that's what you always gonna get. You're gonna get. Well, I told you. No, you didn't.
Right. And then it becomes he should he said she said or he said he said. Yeah. And I think they know that becomes a difficult situation, right? Again, like that. Like how can we prove that she didn't tell us that, right? And so they can kind of rest on that idea, like, well, prove it.
And in the end, the landlady tried to charge us She charged the amount of cleaning fee. She said, I put the 2 ladies there to clean the
for
house.
like 3 days, 4 days?
4 days. Here's somewhere about 3,600, maybe like a 4,000, something
maybe
about that.
Maybe like the 3,000. But still,
right.
3,000
so
pesos?
No. Normally we hire a lady for 600. Right? Even you clean for 2 days. That's the 1,200.
Right.
But like a 3,600.
You're out of your mind.
And I did the clean. Sure, you got to do some deep clean. I understand that.
Yeah, that's okay.
But 2 women for 4 days.
Like
what do you do there?
I was like, they weren't working.
They weren't working.
And we were not happy with that.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes to the same situation as the Airbnb lady in Puerto Vallarta. Right, they're trying to get as much money as they could by overcharging.
Right, and then we complained, and then she said, okay. Then you said, what about pay you 50%?
Pay half.
And she said, okay, immediately. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like obviously you didn't pay that much.
Yeah.
I just pay what you were supposed to. Maybe you even pay the less.
Yeah, you probably paid for one
cleaned it.
Or she probably she was an older lady.
Oh, okay.
They hired someone else.
But it's still ridiculous.
Yeah. Because it wasn't to that level of clean when you got there, was it?
I get, again, living in a house for a year, sure, it's going to be dirty. But I mean, Landy's a very clean person, right?
Yeah. And then we hired a cleaning lady come every
throughout.
Week,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, the house was not like what they were trying to portray it as. Again, like the Airbnbs, you ruined my place.
Oh, you got to wash the laundry, the bed sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, that you have to. Sure.
Wash the bed sheets.
I'm not going to wash everything for the back. Of course, you wash the pillow, wash everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's part of. It's your place. It's your sheets. You wash it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just kind of funny, but anyway. All right. Any last pieces of stories?
I think
okay. I got one good story.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up with Don's good story.
Okay. So the one good story is when I first came to Mexico, the women who in Mexico they make you bring a translator to sign the documents. And the women who, helped me to do my closing, to sign on my documents, she was very instrumental because remember I was illegal then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she helped me to turn on all of my utilities, and she was very, very, very nice to me. Yes, she was very nice.
Which again can be very difficult, especially if you don't have all your documentation.
Correct. And she
it's difficult even with your documentation.
Yes, and she was correct to me. Her name is Maro. She's a translator. But she was very, very nice, and she took me, everywhere. She took me. Matter of fact, I think she was the one who took me to Liverpool to get my refrigerator. To get my washing machine.
Really went above and beyond.
Yeah. Very nice woman. Very, 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 very nice woman. Took me to CFE. Took me to all of these different places. We became very good friends. So that was very, very nice of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
that place you also need to go.
CB, that's the electric company.
Can I talk about the tax ID?
That's the RFC.
RFC.
That's another episode.
Well, that's what you got to do. I think you got to go to the RFC and take that number and put it on your CFE.
Right, but again, they give you, like for us, and I'm sure they did the same thing. They give you a generic RFC.
Right, but you need the.
But they won't give me an RFC. Last time I went, they said no. You have one?
Yeah, I got one.
And do you make money? Because for what they told us, and again,
you gotta go back.
I went with a guy who used to work for them, and he's kind of a handler, like he does immigration stuff, and he went with me, and even with him there, they were like, no, you can't get one, like because you don't earn income, there's nothing you do, that your income is foreign.
You gotta go on another day.
And that's what we talked about a few days ago.
We should have tried
because. Yeah, they were insistent, and they brought they actually brought the supervisor out.
That's why I tried again.
And they were like, nope,
I'm not giving up on that.
Nope.
No. I got that. So I got the card and I got the RFC. But I think when they print you the RFC document, I think that the document that they print you, as far as validity is concerned, I think you got to print one every 3 months.
I'll look at. We'll make another episode about that because again, I know RFCs are important for people to come to Mexico, so we can talk about that later.
Okay.
And also, I know Dawn gonna start her new YouTube channel.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Yes.
Which there were a lot of people who asking if Dawn was gonna ever start her own channel. She just told us before she was. So, what's your channel?
Dawn Living Mexcellent.
Dawn Living Mexcellent, and again, we'll put that at the beginning as well. I know. At the end.
Yes.
And we'll put it also in our description so people can link to it. Has it already started or is it on its way?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Nice.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's in the works.
Yeah. I filmed 3 videos Tuesday, and
Okay.
the girl is she's editing them now.
Oh wow.
So we'll see. And it's weird because when you contacted me on Tuesday, I was filming videos on Tuesday.
Nice.
So it was weird.
So they're coming.
Oh,
Welcome to the YouTube world.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Awesome.
And I would like the channel to be more real estate, how to come to Mexico, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the do's and don't while being in Mexico.
Yeah, which is always good because that's what people need to know, right?
Yeah, the do's and the don'ts. Yeah, and for the most part, I mean, we might have had a whole hour conversation about the negatives of Mexico, but we would probably all like to say, and I like to speak on their behalf as well.
Mhm.
We do love it here. We do appreciate the
Absolutely.
opportunity to be here. Mexico is a great country. Don't send us no hate. It's just our experiences and just things that we are pointing out.
Yeah.
But overall, none of the things that we said is going to make us go back to the United States.
Nope.
So that means that we like it here.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I got 2 dogs, Milo and Maya, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Milo. Milo's a very nice dog, but he eats shit. So just because he eats shit doesn't mean that I don't like Milo.
Yep.
I still love Milo.
Yeah.
But that one eats
True.
shit. He
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
But Maya doesn't.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, but I love both my dogs.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad.
Right.
The whole package.
Yeah. You know, and again, I think we both agree with that wholeheartedly. Like I said,
Right.
we appreciate everything here. We love it. Again, we're speaking of our experiences. You know, and again, these are things I think, like I mentioned at the beginning, is just there's a tendency online to everything to be wonderful here in Mexico, which it is. But we want people to realize that there are negatives, and they need to be prepared for those.
Yes.
You know, if they are thinking about coming, or maybe just got here,
Yes.
be prepared, right, for these frustrations
Yes.
and to have that patience.
Yeah, because, and remember, we've had a lot more good times
Absolutely.
than we've had bad times. But if you are going to have to engage in business or anything that requires someone else, just know there's a 75% chance that it's not going to go as planned.
Yeah, be prepared.
I didn't say 75.
Yeah.
I would like to say a 25%. But in my experience, 75% of the things that I set off to do requires the second, third day.
Yeah. Take some weird turn somewhere along the way.
Right.
Yeah,
and, you know, just the example, he went to the RFC, I went to the RFC. I was able to get mine. They told him, you know, and let's say if he was persistent and went the next day and the next day, it probably would have took him 3 days just to get that document. And that just sometimes happens here.
Right.
So things that should be in 10 minutes may take you days, weeks, maybe even months.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Sometimes just who are on duty that day.
Yeah.
That man said yes, that man said no.
Right.
Yeah.
Said
So
no.
they don't
That
have a
supervisor
very
said no.
standard thing.
No.
Yeah.
That's the
nothing
thing. No
standard.
standard.
No
There are no
standard.
standards.
No
It can change from day to day, person to
No
person.
standard.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
standard. Day to day, minute to minute.
I
mean, the
before lunch
person
break,
in
after
front of
lunch
you-
break,
The person in front of you can get told yes,
Mm-hmm.
and you right there,
the exact same thing.
and you get told no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with us, maybe because this is not a place that has a lot of foreigners,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have a consistent protocol for us.
Yeah.
So they kind of just make it up on the fly. No, they kind of do though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do tend to see a little bit.
Open a bank account.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. We were able to do it before we got our RFC and our obviously before our RFC, we were able to get our bank account before we were even in residence. And again, if you go online and ask, "Can I get a bank?" Everyone's gonna say, "No, you cannot get it without residency. You cannot get a car without residency." I got both, and though people were very
You can't
upset.
buy a house if you're illegal. I was illegal.
Yeah, there's a rule, but there's also no rule.
But that's also the exception.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
rule for you or the rule for themselves.
Right.
It's a little
Right.
different.
Yeah. And nothing is ever concrete. So in Mexico, I would probably say though, which is probably good about Mexico.
The good and the bad. It
Okay.
depends on what side you're on.
Right. Okay. If you're persistent, you can get a lot of things done that may or may not be the right way to do it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Because like I said, a lot of those things like a bank account and car,
car plates.
and getting your car and car plate. I bet you technically legally.
Not legally, no.
Yeah, you probably can't, but
somehow or another you were able to
through a legal channel.
Through a legal channel, which is legal.
Which is legal,
right? So in Mexico, you can start off wrong
and end
up right. I know that sounds strange, but you can start off wrong, and end up right.
And end up right. Like one of the lady I know, she got her residence card. She paid a lot, but she got a real Mexican residence card.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to promote those things, but
she paid.
We're trying to say
a lot.
Yeah. Started wrong, but it ended up right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now she's legally resident.
Now she's legally. Yeah. Listen, I went down there. My visa was I went down there. They gave me a 30-day visa. You know, I don't speak any Spanish. So I went there, and she was like, "Sit here." Here. I was like, thank you. Bye-bye.
See you later.
So, you know, you that should be the slogan.
Yeah.
Mexico. Start off wrong, end up right.
And I think that's a good place to end right there. You know, so again, lots of things it depends on what side of the fence you're on, but it could be good, it could be bad.
Yeah.
Again, we love Mexico.
We love it.
There's good stuff. There's bad stuff. Again, leave comments if you have any questions, stories that you want to share. We'd love to hear them. Again, it's always fun. And again, thanks for joining us. Don, thank you again. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
And we'll talk to everybody soon.
Bye-bye.